hey, there was a little arrow on the top. Let's look at that. Is that just to show north? Perhaps. Okay. Back in we go. Yeah, so if you guys ever get around to playing Riven, I would love to play Riven. Actually, of all the Myst games, Riven, Exile, and Revelation are my favorites. Then you'll meet Gehn. So, I suppose I should start from the beginning with the books. Atrus's grandmother, Tiana, she's actually human, and she came from the surface. I forget if it was like somewhere out in the Midwest with settlers and whatnot, but she had found herself, she and her father were like archaeologists, geologists, and they had found themselves an interesting rift, like a crater. And her father died, and she found her way into the crater and was promptly captured by the Gehn, who lived far underground. And the Gehn are these highly technological peoples that developed the art of writing that Atrus now uses. And that's when Tiana actually meets Atrus. Well, not her grandson Atrus, obviously, but the man that he's named after, which I believe he was part of a noble house amongst the Gehn, and very well respected by the other nobles. But there was some growing dissent with people regarding the art of writing. And I forget precisely why, but Atrus's good friend and somewhat rival actually developed some kind of bioweapon, a nasty virus or disease. And he was essentially responsible for wiping out the Gehn. I think part of it was he didn't like the fact that his best friend had married a human, even though they all look very human. Married a human, but also we're starting to mingle with the races of whatever ages that they had uncovered. So he created this bioweapon and forced everyone to flee Gehn. At which point he had actually put corpses onto the linking books to these ages and practically wiped out the Gehn people. It was rather peculiar. Atrus unfortunately perished, but at that point, oh no, I didn't do it far enough. Oh. At that point, Tiana had already had Gehn, Atrus's father, the Atrus that we know in this game's father, and they were able to flee back to the surface. And they lived a life of solitude. Gehn was marginally taught about the art of writing, but he wanted to learn more. And so when he had Atrus and his wife died, he abandoned Atrus and his mother to go back down into the crevice, back to Gehn. And it was there, from the ruins of the old world, that he was able to glean more and more about the people, about the art of writing. But he was always in the camp that assumed that the art of writing was about creating worlds, that you were the creator of the worlds. And he definitely perceived himself as a god, so I think he had written Riven, which is the setting of the second game. Unfortunately, there are some flaws with Riven. It became clear early on when he emerged to claim Atrus from his mother and teach Atrus the art of writing, that Atrus was more gifted than Gehn was. Perhaps it was the way that he worked his words. Perhaps it was the way that he visited and fine-tuned the ages. But Atrus just had a profound respect for the peoples that they encountered on these worlds. And Gehn saw them merely as subjects or slaves. And when Atrus found out about his father and how he treated the inhabitants of his world, he was really distraught. And he actually fell in love with one of them. On Riven, there was a young woman named Catherine. And she had actually been taught by Gehn the art of writing too, I believe. Just to see if it was capable for these other peoples to learn, perhaps. Or I think Gehn may have also fancied Catherine for himself, which is really weird. But I suppose he saw everyone on that age as his own property anyway. So Atrus falls in love with Catherine and actually devises a way to trap Gehn on Riven and is able to escape with Catherine to Myst. So this Myst Island is where they had their children and everything was hunky-dory until this happens. His sons have burned many linking books, many journals, and he's upset because it means that these worlds might be lost forever. I mean, people don't really know what happens to a world when it collapses. I mean, when the linking book itself gets damaged and collapses. Yeah. So Gehn had actually wanted Atrus to fix Riven, and that's part of the plot. Oh no, I didn't set it. Did I? Because I think by lowering the left handle, it's supposed to realign it. Hopefully not bring it back to the one that it was. Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened. I really wish there was some way it would indicate where it turned to, because I'd be upset if I tried this and it ended up... Oops, I accidentally pressed the middle button again. I just want to see if it changed down there. Yeah. So as a cool side note, from Myst Uru, there's this awesome suit of armor that your character can acquire, because unlike the other games, Uru is the only game where you don't play as the stranger. I believe you play... Aha! Oh... I went too far! Oh no. Because, as you can see... I'm over here. Well, at least I can set these guys up. I mean, there's another, like, couple dozen combinations that can go along with that. Wow. So that means I have to go another half circle. Maybe I should actually go in there and figure out how many turns it takes. That way I won't mess up again. Because that was rather embarrassing. Overstepping. I suppose I was a little bit distracted describing the books. Okay. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I would assume that means it's 14. Well, yeah, with the number like 14, I'm not surprised that I overshot it. Yeah, so in Myst Uru, you play as an explorer. I suppose humans eventually discovered Gehn underground, and there's like this corrupt corporation that was trying to keep the artifacts for themselves, or so your character goes about and tries to help out the hologram of Isha achieve her dream of like starting Gehn up again. It was interesting. But you go to this one age called Garishan, and that's where there's this huge fortress. Okay, I'm gonna have to count this. 1. Oh, except I have to do double the amount. So that means I have to do it 28. 2, 3, 4. This takes such a long time. 5. Oh, I didn't switch it. So that's still 5. 6. 7. 9. It's too bad I can't keep talking in between. 10. I suppose I can. 11. So there was this really awesome suit. 12. It was called the Maintainer suit. 13 has like glowing green lights. 14. And I really wanted to make it because no one had ever made that cosplay before. Am I on 15, guys? I think so. 16. 17. 18. So if you guys look up the Maintainer suit online, 19, you can actually see my cosplay. 20, 21, and supposedly a lot of people in the Myst community really like it. 22. I was actually I went to a convention and there was a woman that was dressed as Yisha. 4, and I was like, hey, you're cosplaying as Yisha, and of course she was really ecstatic because not many people recognize characters from the Myst series. 6. And so she was all ecstatic, and I told her that I had made the Maintainer suit, and she's like, wow, you're the one who made the Maintainer suit. That's awesome. And so we had a conversation about Myst and stuff. I think I made it there properly. I'll just do another couple for good measure, because I think if you release the left lever, it automatically goes back to the one that you were on. And so it was awesome. It was awesome getting recognized for my costume. People are like, oh, are you gonna come to Mysterium? And unfortunately, the last Mysterium that I could have gone to was back in Boston. I never knew that it was there, but it travels all around the country. I don't know that the other ones were in places like Salt Lake City and Seattle, and yes, I got to the right one. And yeah, it keeps jumping around. But also, that costume was ridiculous. I could, like, the shin guards on it were heavy, so I felt like No! Why am I here? Why am I on this one? I didn't want to be on this one. I want to be on that one. Okay. They look so similar. But this is definitely the one that I had been to before. Oh, darn it. Yeah. The Maintainer suits are the suits that people wore to check ages. Because, I mean, so imagine if you were to go into a severely damaged age and it had turned to space dust. I mean, you would suffocate and die. Or, I mean, Atrus, in the book that we read earlier, he was describing a world that was on fire, and so of course you'd want to have safety precautions when finding old libraries of books of linking books that are just ancient and haven't been touched in years. Okay, so let's try this again. 14. 1. 2. 3. I thought that was just a really memorable suit of armor. Your character can acquire a lot of clothing in Myst Uru, but it was the only one I wanted to wear because, I mean, humans are derpy. I know I'm human myself. 5, 7, 8. And, I mean, if I have the option to in any game I play, I tend to play as an alien or an elf, or definitely races other than human. So wearing a suit of armor with cool glowing lights and green lenses, I was like, yeah, I definitely prefer this over seeing the derpy human character. I don't know. I've lost track, unfortunately. I was chit-chatting too much. I just wish that you could press a button rather than lift a lever. Then... Wait, did I just reset it? Maybe I've been resetting it. Because if I left it up... Because I know that sometimes it resets, sometimes it adjusts it so it goes back to the proper point. Well, this is definitely a different one. Yes, I think I made it. I made it. All right. There we go. And now we have the sort of semicircle with the rectangles and the triangles. Yes! Okay. And now it looks like we have to go halfway back around. But maybe I can jibber jabber for a while because, I mean, if I have to do 28 lever pulls, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of lever pulls. All right, and up we go. Oh, it didn't activate. Oh, Nara? Well, let's see. Nara's a rock. If you're talking about the Spire Nara, I think that was the stuff that floats. That was a really cool age in Myst Revelation. I mean, technically I suppose it would be the same age that Sirrus would be trapped in now. When Atrus built a lot of ages, they were tools to teach Sirrus and Achenar about the art of writing. Except, unfortunately, like their grandfather, Sirrus and Achenar were of the belief that when they were writing worlds, it was to suit their fancies. So in Achenar's case, he was all about hunting and killing and taking out his sadistic satisfaction for harming other people or other creatures. So in his age in Myst Revelation, you find out that the... Whoa. What? I can shift it around at top speed? But now I don't know where I'd be. Oh, well, I'll see where it is. And I'll check out the chessboard. I mean, I know that it was playing a song. Do I have to wait for the song to end? Well, it stopped. I don't know. Well, let's see what's outside. Because at least... No. I overshot it. I overshot it. Oh no. Oh, why do I keep going around this way? Whoa. It's a little disorienting. I wish there was a diagram. Like this kind of diagram. Because if I could figure out how to get from one side to the other, that'd be great. One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. Okay, so maybe if I hold it for 5 seconds, that'll be good. Okay. And this way. Let's hope this is the last time I have to do that. Okay. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Hopefully that's enough. It looked like it went back a ways, so I hope I didn't get it short by just 1. I mean, there's this. There's really nothing I can select. Oh, I just clicked the wall. Funny. I didn't even see this. Money. A lot of money. Oh, a scroll. Sirrus. Your greed sickens me. Your desire for wealth and... Is that... something? Is never satiated. Plunder, plunder, wealth and plunder. Man, looking at cursive. I will instruct my subjects not to pay your new tax, and you know they'll listen to me. Regards, Achenar. Wait, so Sirrus and Achenar are having some issues between themselves, but also his subjects? So Sirrus put a tax on Achenar's subjects. Huh. That's interesting. Oh, and there's a red page as well. Okay. Well, let's peek outside and hope everything went well. Yes. Okay. Finally, maybe we'll get off this sandy, sprocket-filled world. Okay. Well, it looks like that first one was already done correctly. Nice. And we have a way back. Well, it looks like we've completed the first age. Woohoo! Sorry for running around in circles. And here we are. So let's see what these guys have to say.
Serious?
Oh, wait. By picking up the other slip, we actually dropped that one?
You've returned. Thank you for bringing the red page. You must continue to help. My name is Sirrus. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release me from this book which has become. Bring. I need more red pages, please.
Okay. So he wants more red pages. And we really dropped the blue book? I mean, the blue pages? Oh, that means I'm gonna have to go back. I mean, I already know how the ending's supposed to go, but I figured that you guys would want to see, I figured you guys would want to see. Oh, what am I thinking? Why am I going here? I need to, go back to the sprocket. Yeah, I know I don't need to gather pages because they're both behind this. But the premise initially was you were supposed to try to gauge by going to each realm which one was the quote-unquote guilty one. And that was who you were supposed to free. Turns out freeing someone from a prison age actually imprisons you. Though it is nice to gather the pages just to hear more tidbits from them. Now I wonder if I would have left that page in... since that was Sirrus's page, it means I would have gotten... Yeah, it put Achenar's page back. Yeah, the real answer in this is that both of them are bad. I mean, look at Achenar. He's torturing people. Look at Sirrus. He is robbing them of their wealth. They've both become pretty sadistic. I mean, I can't imagine being a father like Atrus. I mean, having both of your sons corrupted by greed and need for power. I mean, when your father writes essentially portals to various worlds, I mean, it would obviously get to their head. Alright. So we have a page for Achenar. Let's see what he says. He's probably gonna be like, more pages!
You've returned! You wouldn't return. Ages, rescue me. I'm Achenar. My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. An egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the